in heaven, dancing cheek to cheek. We're drinking our coffee. I also have my water because look at the situation. Drab, dry, breakouts. Drink your water. I have been eating so terrible. It's time to get back on it. I'm in a better mood than I was last video, so that's good. I already washed my face this morning, but I just want to exfoliate. One of my favorite ones is the MAC Volcanic Ash Exfoliator. So you are supposed to kind of wet your skin a little bit. Kind of just wet my fingers because I like having it be a little rougher. I'm gonna put on some eye masks. What, Gracie? Come here, my love. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. She's a very needy girl. So I got these Butanique Beauty Guardian Angel Revitalizing Eye Pads, and they're so cute. They're like little angel wings. So I'm gonna let those work their magic under there. And then I love this Honest Beauty Prime and Perfect mask. This was in my blog. I have not been on it with my blog, you guys, but this was in my 5 top masks on my blog because it's amazing. I freaking love it. This I really like right before you do your makeup on days like this where you're spending some time on yourself because it is a priming mask. It just gets your skin all ready for the day and it smells so delicious. I look so fabulous. I can't even handle it. I'm also gonna do a little Cocoa Kiss lip scrub. I showed you guys this in my favorites video, and this also smells so good. I wanna eat it. Okay, so while I let this sit, hey, I'm Shay, if you're new around here. Obviously, I'm doing a get ready with me video. I asked you guys on Instagram last week if you had any questions for me. Thank you, little angels. I'm going to work in a bit to do some makeup, lashes, and then I come home and I have a thrift drop from my thrift account. So I know today is just gonna like start at like 12 and then just I'll be busy till like 8 o'clock at night tonight. So I thought do some skincare, set your mood, you know, my incense are going. I got my coffee, I had Ella on, like have a getting ready party. Cause even though my face is all breaking out and I look all crazy, I already feel better. Damn, I better start answering some questions. I'll do this one. It says, how often do you get a pro facial or give yourself one? What's your at-home skincare routine? As you can see, like I keep a lot of products. I don't have like one brand at all I stick to. I'm trying to pick a serum to put on right now. The True Serum, I like this one because it has vitamin C in it and it smells good. Usually I don't do all this all at once. This is definitely like a, I want to make myself feel good and like take my time today thing. That's something I could probably work on, is having a little bit more routine in my skincare. So I used to get a professional facial once a month. I did it for like 3 years. I loved it. She would do, what's that called? Not microneedling. It's like the little sandblaster basically. I'm blanking out. Microderm. New coffee would help. It's called microdermabrasion. I would get that like every couple months. And microdermabrasion is a game changer. I feel like that made the biggest difference in my skin as far as like texture. My skin texture greatly improved. I used to have such enlarged pores and I feel like I don't anymore. You know, you go through phases where like I'll get lash extensions, I'll get nails, I'll do my facials, and then you feel bad you're spending all this money, right? But I do feel like professional facials are a spot to spend money because it's your skin. I quit doing lashes just this week. I'm gonna take a break. Painted my own nails, so I should sign up for a facial. I'm feeling amazing. I am gonna put on this, the Smith's Rosebud Salve on my lips. It's so amazing. So the first thing I like to do in my makeup routine is my eyebrows. They tend to not take too long, but I can't talk while I'm doing them. So I'm gonna do them and I'll be right back. I love the Urban Decay Brow Blade. If you want just a quick tool, this is like my favorite. It's a pen. So you can just do little strokes, or on this side, this is just a regular pencil. But I think we're gonna do a little like a more dramatic eyebrow. I'll do the pomade from Anastasia. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, we're back and we're looking a little crazy because we just have these dark eyebrows on and no other makeup. Now for eyeshadow primer, I love Painterly from MAC. I've used this forever. It's just actually a cream shadow, but it's like a pink nude tone. So it's great to just use for every day, like underneath your eyeshadow. I also just put this right up under here. I'm gonna go in there with concealer anyway, but I just noticed I like to just like cancel out. The older I've gotten, I'm almost 31, you guys, next month. I can't believe it. I always have like dark right next to my lash line. And if I just cancel it out, I just feel better. Like as I'm working, it's like, okay, it's a clean slate. Obviously my mirror's over here. That's why I keep looking over there. Hopefully you guys know that, so you're not like, why is she looking off camera this whole time? Okay, so now that our eyes are prepped, let's talk about another question. What is your favorite music app? I use Amazon Music. I love it. I'm gonna be using the Kylie bronze palette to do my eyeshadow. I have an Alexa at work, and so it's really great because it just like hooks right up to my Amazon Music, and I can say like, play this, play that. And so I think that's kind of why I ended up using Amazon Music. Plus I have Prime, so I think it's included in your Prime. Like you get it for free or a cheaper amount, something like that. And I love to create little playlists. Also, I'm in a life coaching program. I think I've told you guys in my last video. I know I've told you on Instagram, but that was one of our homework assignments, was like archetypes. There's warrior, lover, magical, like magician. What's the other one? Anyways, just different like vibes you need sometimes throughout life. And so she had us create different playlists for those moods, like for those archetypes. And so if you're needing like a little love that day, I'll turn on my lover archetype playlist. Or gosh, what's the other one? Queen archetype. I also have one called Feel Good. I have a meditation one. Let's do a love song for a second. I'm using Topaz right here. Bring the beat in. Dear, every time you touch me, I just melt away. Going in with Tiger Eye. I wish we could listen to music all this video, but I'll get copyright infringement. And I'm just gonna take citrine, which is the orange, on this big fluffy brush and literally just like fluff it all around just to kind of warm everything up. Just a little bit, like add a little warmth in there. There we go, just fluff it everywhere. Is there an app you recommend or use to track your ovulation? So if you don't know, I'm trying to get pregnant. I have been for like 3.5 years. So I'm on my period right now. I was gonna show you guys period day 4. This is the tracker I use. It's called periodtracker.net, I think. Up at the top here, it just says period tracker. Hopefully it's in focus, my damn camera. But when you minimize it, it says P tracker, but it's a little pink flower. That's the one I use. I've heard of so many people using Flow. There's so many of them. I've just used that one forever, and so I know how to use it, and so I'm like old school with things like that. Like I'll stick with the same thing because you would think I'm tech savvy, and I'm like, all right, but I don't love like having to learn new apps and stuff like that. I don't know. I like it because probably like any app, it keeps everything recorded, so I can look back and be like, when did I ovulate last month? What am I doing this month? Like how long are my average periods? Like it averages everything. Like I have statistics, you know? You can record symptoms, you can, you know, record when you have sex, when you're trying to get pregnant, if it's unprotected, protected, different notes. It's just very detailed, so I really like that app. I can't remember if it costs money because I've just had it for literally probably 10 years, but I think it's worth it because it's something you use every single month. What kind of car do you drive? I just drive a little Jeep Cherokee. I wanted a Grand Cherokee. I didn't even know there was a difference. And we like drove away in my car, and you know, the next couple weeks I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the smaller version, but that's okay. I used to have a Bug, then I had a Ford Fiesta, which is even smaller than a Focus. Then I had a Ford Fusion, which was probably like my favorite car. I loved my Fusion. It was just a white Fusion and it was so cute, just nice. It was like, I had like a sunroof and all the cool things. And then, but I was leasing that car. And so I had to like turn it back in because leasing for me was like pretty good for a while because I drive so much to work that it was like, I just got a new car like every 2 years. But then my husband's like, all right, we need to buy you a car and like stop leasing. So that's why I got the Jeep. And so I've been like slowly working myself up to bigger cars because it's kind of scary when you like had a Bug. They're tiny, you can whip around in those things. So yeah, I think my next car, I will definitely do like a full-size SUV. I would say mine's like kind of a crossover-y size, you know? I just put goldstone all over my lid. It's so pretty, I love it. Oh, but yeah, I also, the reason I got a Jeep over my Fusion instead of just buying that was because I have a lab. And it was really hard if my husband was at work for like a month at a time sometimes, and I couldn't like take her places. So I think from now on I'll always have an SUV just so she can hop in the back really easy. So I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Jet Cream Color. This is just the same formula basically as the Dip Brow, and just do a line and smoke it out because that's just my favorite look. And I'll be right back because again, I'm like, I can't do this and I don't want this video to be a million years long trying to do this in the viewfinder. I'm gonna do it over here and I'll be right back. 90% of the time I do smoky liner because it's so easy. Like you don't have to make it perfect at all because you're gonna smoke it out. So I'm gonna go in with Obsidian, the black in the Kylie palette, and a flat definer brush. And all I do is go like this and just kind of like, if I wasn't holding this mirror, I would hold my eye so I could see better. I'll show you how I really do it if I was doing it in a mirror. I kind of go higher on the outer corner, not necessarily creating a wing, but a little bit. You'll see when we smoke it out, it's just gonna make it like go lifted because you do want your outer corner to be thickest, and then whatever's like left on your brush, bring that in and just tap it over the gel just to kind of lock it in place more and make it a little smoky. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a 217 from MAC, which is a blending brush, and I kind of pinch it so it gets flatter. And now you're gonna take like a dark brown, so bronzite, is that what it's called? And you're gonna just go right over that smoky liner, just kind of tapping it and smoking it out even more. And again, like normally I pull my eye like this and I kind of go back and forth. Oh, that's so bad for you. And you do it all the time when you're doing your makeup. Like you should not pull your eye like that, but it makes it easier to see what you're doing, obviously. What are currently your makeup favorites? I just actually did a favorites video not that long ago, so those are like all my current favorites. I feel like I haven't really gotten any new favorites in the mix besides this that I'm gonna use in a while, the Instant Rewind Concealer from, isn't this Revlon? Oh, this is Maybelline. But yeah, like basically everything I'm using in this video is my current favorites. Okay, so I have a pair of Wispies sitting right here that I wore yesterday. Let me show you what they look like. Favorite restaurant, oh girl. I live in a really small town. We don't have a ton of options, but like pizza's my favorite food. And so if you're talking like pizza, Round Table or like Mountain Mike's is so delicious because it's like crunchy almost. The pepperonis are so tiny and crispy and I love it. And their ranch is delicious. If you're talking like fast food, I don't really eat fast food besides In-N-Out. I just go to In-N-Out or pizza if I'm gonna be eating like bad, you know, to-go food. An actual restaurant, I love like Italian restaurants, Mexican restaurants. I don't really have like a favorite. You know what I really love actually is Thai food. And again, the Thai food place in town went out of business. I tried Indian food for the first time for my 30th birthday last year when we were in London. Oh my God, it was to die for. So I've got to find a good Indian restaurant here around me. With COVID, stuff is so weird, right? Like you don't really go out to eat, so. My camera is dying. Is this a joke? I'm not even ready at all. Voila. Okay, we're back. I got dressed. I'm gonna throw on some of my Dossier Aquatic Peony. I just love it so much. I always use a little, probably too much, but I love it. Okay, FaceTime. So like I said, I've been loving the Age Rewind Instant Concealer. And I like to just paint him like all over where I want my face to be bright and highlighted. So I'm not gonna really use a foundation. I am, because you'll see, but it's not for coverage. It's just to help me blend this out. So I'm not necessarily being shy with this because it's super thin anyway, and I'm not going over it with a thick foundation at all. So just put this everywhere you want, light, which I'm gonna look crazy for a bit, okay? Just go with it. So there's that. Now, I like to go in with the KKW contour stick. I'm using the color medium 2 right now, like all right in here, underneath my lip. Oh girl, right here. Of course, under our cheeks. And then our nose, so let's see. It's so hard, sorry. I'm trying to not look over here so much, but I notice I am. So as if you were to like take this down your nose, that's where you want your contour to be. So I'm gonna kind of like, and honestly, I'm not great with contouring my nose. I don't spend a lot of time. You kind of want those lines skinnier if you're trying to make your, you know, the top of your nose look narrower. But my nose, I have a bump and it's crooked, and so it's just kind of like, I don't want to say a lost cause, but like, yeah, you have to work a lot to contour it. So I just kind of slop it on there because I'm lazy. And I know I look so weird, but I like to let this sit there and let the warmth of my skin heat these products up, because that is going to help us blend so much. So while I'm letting this sit, let's answer another question. And my phone was dying, so I had to plug it in. Okay, do you ever feel like you're getting a late start in starting a family? I'm on a fertility journey. So girl, I'm with you. I definitely have had those thoughts, and especially like I'm from a small town. People get married pretty young, start having babies, and my actual friends didn't do that. Like my group of friends all dated for a really long time before they got married. I was dating Danny 7.5 years by the time we got married because we had met when I was 18, you know, so you can have a baby before you get married, but our plan was to get married first. And so I knew just by how long it was taking us to like progress in our relationship, because my husband's a planner, you know, like he wanted to graduate, like get a certain promotion, buy a house, and then propose. So I kind of knew like as we moved forward, I wasn't gonna be, like my mom had me at 21. I knew I wasn't gonna be like that, and I didn't necessarily wanna be that young. But so I got married when I was 26, and we decided to wait a year before we started trying to have a baby. So I knew, you know, 28 would be the youngest I would be a mom, because if I got pregnant at 27, you know, like 27, 28. And obviously I'm almost 31 and it still hasn't happened, so it does, obviously, like I cry my eyes out sometimes, like it gets really frustrating. But at the same time, I feel like it's so much more common nowadays for people to have babies in their 30s. It's not like as scary as it used to be and uncommon as it used to be. And I do reflect back and really appreciate all the time my husband and I have had together. Like we've had 12 years together, just us. My dog's coming in here, and I just think it makes us so much stronger, like within our own relationship, for when we bring a baby into it. You know, I think sometimes it's probably hard on young couples who haven't even like been through that much by themselves, and then they have a baby, you know, it brings a lot of stress. So I do feel sometimes like I'm behind, but at the same time I don't. Like I think I just think that because everyone else is ahead of me. You know what I mean? Like I think if no one else had babies yet, I'd be living life. Like you have to just, like what other people are doing, you can't compare. So to be honest, I've had those thoughts, but in the grand scheme of things, I still feel like I'm young and I'm happy in every other aspect of my life. And so I just try to stay in that mindset. If you ask me on different days, I probably would feel different, but like, I feel like it's gonna be okay. And there's like a reason this is happening. And like, I'm really excited for the future. About now, I'm like, all right, bitch, let's get pregnant. Like, I'm ready. I've been ready, but I'm ready. If you haven't seen my Clomid video, I just completed round 3 of Clomid, and I'm not pregnant, so I actually have to pick up my Clomid today to start round 4, and I'm going up in milligrams. I'm doubling, so I'm like sweating as I'm saying this. I'm like, hot flash city, here we come. But stay tuned, I'll probably make more videos about that. Okay, I feel like we're warmed up enough, so this is what I like to do. I like to actually do the dark first. I'm really excited about this routine. I probably should make a video just solely on this. But this is MAC Face and Body. It's a water-based foundation. It's extremely thin. Look at how thin this is. And I'm gonna use this to help us blend our face. I just take the tiniest bit, and I'm going to go right here and just kind of start blending out this contour with the Face and Body. Do you see how easy that's making it to blend this out? It just is like effortless. It's so nice. I freaking love that. Just makes everything so spreadable because it's a water-based foundation. And we let our skin warm up the product too, so that definitely helps. I totally notice if I'm rushing, like I won't do this because it's not as easy if you're rushing and you don't let it sit. I'll just use like powder bronzer if I'm in a really big hurry because, you know, you don't have time to let it cook, basically. I do underneath my nose like that because I want my nose to look longer, like it goes down instead of popping up so much, which is so funny. A lot of people want their nose to look like it's popping up, but mine already does that. Okay, so for my nose, I've been loving this brush. This is the Morphe E62. It's like an angled, fluffy brush. And I just kind of like, almost like bring it into where my eyeshadow was, like I said. I'm still practicing, like as much as I know how to do this, there's a difference between knowing how to do it and actually taking the time to do it right. Like I'm so lazy when it comes to my nose. Okay, so for my concealer, I don't really add any foundation here. I just buff out what's already here. And I like to turn it upside down right here. I'm gonna go in with this. This is called Emphasize from MAC. It's a shading powder and it's pretty white and bright. So I like to put this just right underneath my eyes just so that I look like so bright and cheery and awake. I'm going in with some butter bronzer from Physicians Formula on a big giant brush. What are the other questions? I need to answer more questions, don't I? He says, girl, can you go over your brows? So yeah, I did my brows off camera. I need to actually make a brow video. I really want to. Next thrift drop. And then, okay, I have 2 questions, so I'll remember. My next thrift drop is actually today at 5 o'clock. You guys obviously won't see this till after that because I'm putting this video up tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna do Tuesdays at 6. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a new thrift store on Instagram and it's called Happy Gold Thrift. And a drop is when I like put up stuff for sale. So that's gonna be, if you wanna check it out, like Tuesdays at 6, I think is gonna be the time. I'm really excited, I freaking love it. I'm really loving it. Okay, so this is the time when I just like go a little crazy because I like to be bronzy and I'm pale right now. And this is also the time, this shirt is so short and I'm just like not in crop top shape, but I wear this stuff sometimes to remind myself to be healthy. Because I ordered pizza last night, you guys. I had pizza and I just ate a lot of it by myself, you know. Gotta do that every once in a while, but then you gotta wear a crop top to remind yourself to eat healthy the next day. It's my logic, right? Pink Power by Kylie, I love it. So the next question was, when am I going back blonde? So if you didn't know, I used to be blonde, so I like to switch up my hair color. I get bored. I used to have black hair, I've had purple in my hair, I've had blonde, I've had red, like red. I've had everything besides copper until recently, so that's why I wanted to do copper, and I'm honestly loving it. So yeah, I don't know. I have an appointment to add some like brightness around my face, some money pieces, and some like highlights through the ends, and to break up this base. So I guess we're like overall lightening in like 2 weeks, but it'll still be a copper tone. So, I mean, I'm always switching. It's just fun. I'm just gonna go in with Topaz and go just right under my eyes, just so there's something there. And just that way, I don't know. I have I have a lot of under eye fine lines, and I find that even if I don't wear eyeshadow, I at least put bronzer right here. So that's kind of what I'm doing. This is kind of just like bronzing the area. I think I have like just 2 more questions, so that's good because all we have to do is highlight and lips. I love this brush. I talk about it a lot, the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH40. It's like a fluffy brush, but it's so good for like right in here, because it disperses it because it's fluffy, but it's also small, so you can like keep it a little bit confined. And then I'm gonna put this right under my brow bone too. So if you do your brows first, like me, you can see they kind of get messed up from buffing powder all around and stuff, so don't worry, we're gonna fix those. Now I'm gonna go in with my favorite highlight lately. Showed you this in my favorites video. It's called Show Gold by MAC. And I just love it because it has like a pink. I said it was a champagne in that video and I feel bad because it's not really, it's like a pink. I'm a weirdo that can go without highlight. I feel like a lot of people are like, what? That's like my favorite part. And I definitely love highlighter. I like to play with it a lot more in summer. In winter, I kind of enjoy a matte look, but I'm putting this on because whenever I wear that Pink Power blush, I love this highlighter paired with it. Okay, now I'm a Studio Fix powder lover till the day I die. So you don't have to do this, it's an extra step, but I love using this just like very last, just to kind of smooth out any areas that I feel like right here, it's like I have a breakout. I'll just put like a little bit of powder right there. Honestly, like look, that foundation I used is so sheer that like some of that is gonna shine through. But I just like to throw this like right in the T-zone. I always finish off people's makeup like this. It just gives you like an airbrushed look. I love MAC Studio Powder, Studio Fix. It's just it's my favorite makeup product ever of life. I will use it forever. Okay, so like I was saying, you're gonna fix your brows, right? What other questions do I have? I'm gonna plug this now. When we travel, where's the next place you will go? I am going to Napa in like 2 weeks to go wine tasting for a bachelorette party, and I'm really interested to see how that goes. So I go in with some clear brow gel and just like fix everything up again, because it kind of got messed up from like every other part of our makeup hitting it, you know, because we're gonna have to wear masks, and I'm sure like they'll limit how many people can sit together and things like that. I'm also going to Mexico for the girl's bachelorette party it is. It's her wedding in Mexico in April. So that's where I'm going next, you guys. I'm so excited. Before COVID, I wanted to go to New York. If you watched my like 2020 vision board, that was the next trip I wanted to plan. And now, obviously with COVID hitting so hard in New York, I feel like it's gonna be a while before New York is like normal again, if ever. Like people always talk about how stuff closed there that will never come back, you know, which is so sad. So that's the next place though that I want to visit, like when stuff is a lot more normal, because I really want to experience like New York, but I don't want to go there and have like stuff shut down and have to experience stuff different. Like that's the next place I really want to visit when stuff's normal. The other question was about cosmetology school. How was your cosmetology school experience? Did you ever do hair? Love your videos. Thank you. I did do hair for about 5 years. I was never great at it because I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I just felt like I was young. Like now I would like go take more classes, binge watch YouTube videos. Like Instagram is also a great marketing tool to get clientele. Like Instagram wasn't really a thing back then, but I think it would be so much easier now having Instagram as such a good marketing tool. I'm gonna do my lips real quick. So yeah, I used to do hair. I used to work at Great Clips, which is like, if you don't know what that is, if you have like super cuts near you. And it was great because it was like men's haircuts all day. And men are simple, men are easy, men are cool. I made good tips. Like that was great while I was in college. And then different times I also worked in salons, but definitely not as long. And that was kind of the problem. Like hair color for me was scarier. Like I wasn't as confident with color. Cutting I'm comfortable with. The thing that kind of like fucked everything up, I think, and I hate saying that because like you can control you, but again, at this time in my life, I was like 21 and I got a job at a salon, and I was so excited about it because they were like voted best of Chico, like the best, you know, they were like the coolest, prettiest salon ever. And I really wanted to work there, and I got a job basically doing like commission stylist, which is where like you don't make any money if you don't do anything, but you make 40 or 60%, I think you make 60% of your sales. Like if you do book a hair color, you would make 60% of that money. And so I got a job doing that instead of like having to pay to rent a booth. And they were like, yeah, we'll help you with color, we'll train you, da da da. And I, looking back, there was so much more, like I could have advocated for myself. I could have had a better attitude, but I was like, first of all, experiencing anxiety and depression for the first time in my life. I was drinking a lot because I was 21. I went out almost every night, you know, living in a college town. Instagram wasn't a thing, didn't have clients, like I wasn't very confident, and there was bitchy girls that worked there. So it was just the combination of everything. Like don't get me wrong, if you happen to be watching this video and you worked there, there was some really nice girls that worked there, but there was also some that were just like so mean, and now I know like they were just unhappy with themselves, but they like took it out on me kind of like, and I was so, it killed my confidence. It killed my confidence. Girls can be so mean. They were like, we're gonna teach you. And then they would like book me hair color and not fucking be there. And so I was like messing people's hair up. It was really bad. I was really embarrassed. It wasn't the end of the world. It really wasn't that bad, but I was mortified. I remember weaving this whole lady's head. Kim, what was her last name? Anyways, she had big curly hair, and I weaved her whole entire head with just developer. No lightener, no lightener. And so poor thing sat there for hours with just like, you know, going through the process to get nothing done. Like it didn't barely lift her hair. It's kind of a long story and I'm gonna go on a tangent, but there was like this new product and I thought like it was an all-in-one thing. I didn't realize you had to mix lightener with it, which is stupid looking back. But working at that salon totally killed my confidence, and it just made me feel like I didn't love it, I wasn't good at it. And so I got into makeup also at that point, because there was a makeup artist that worked there that was super nice and like taught me stuff, and so that's how I started getting into makeup. Then I loved makeup, and it's so much less committal, you know? If you don't like makeup, you wash it off. If you don't like your hair cut or your hair color, it's so much more of a process to change it. And so that just didn't work as well with my personality. I just didn't like the stress of it. I still cut Danny's hair. I don't really do any of my family's hair anymore because I kind of just didn't, I just was like, I don't want to. Oh, the last one is, what is your advice for starting a YouTube channel? So my advice would be, first of all, to watch a bunch of videos on filming setups. So you can find like something really affordable and cheap to get going, because that was one thing I struggled with in the beginning, was like, what do I buy? You don't need to buy the nicest, newest stuff. Honestly, get a ring light. These are like maybe $80 on YouTube. On Amazon, get one of these and get a cheap camera just to start out with, or use your phone. Like, our phones are so good now. So that, like, for setup, I would say that. Editing, if you have a MacBook, iMovie is free on there, or at least mine is. I've been doing YouTube almost 7 years. I've never bought Final Cut Pro. I really want to, but it's expensive. Like, my main advice is, like, be you. And I'm honestly, like, you know this, and I've gone through spurts of, like, doing this, but then you also sometimes get in your head and compare yourself to other people and think everything needs to be perfect. And honestly, I've kind of, like, lately, like, it used to be like 1,000 views easy. I would get 1,000 views. I'll get like 300 views on a video sometimes now. And so it's hard to not let that affect your mindset. Like, oh my God, do my videos suck? But I think honestly, like, the market's just saturated. There's so many people on YouTube now that, like, if you're not consistent with it, which I'm a little bit inconsistent, like, your videos aren't being shown on the algorithm as much. So I would say, like, be yourself, like, do what you want to talk about. Don't try to do what someone else is doing. Do you. Don't spend a ton of money on your setup right at first. Like, just get the basics and see if you are going to continue loving it so you don't waste a bunch of money. I've heard a couple girls that have tried doing it and they buy all this stuff and then they never even end up really making videos. And that sucks. And be consistent. Consistency is huge, and that's something I'm personally working on. So, you know, I'm right here with you, girl. Okay, you guys. This is the look. I hope you love it, but I love hanging out with you guys. I truly, when I say you guys, I love the comments you leave. I know who's watching. I feel like, you know, there's been people that have watched me for years, and it's like so weird in real life. I'm like, hi, I know you watch my videos. I feel weird. But, like, I'm really talking to you. Like, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for watching. I get in such a good mood after I make a video. I love editing videos. And that's why I keep doing it. Just because if you truly love something and it's a creative outlet, it brings you happiness. So that's how I feel about YouTube. And I'm so grateful you're here, even though I'm a mess sometimes. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.